Hello everyone. Today I'm going to showcase you BestSpace Part 2. So if you haven't seen the Part 1 of the BestSpace JavaScript series, I will share the link in the description and in the cards. So make sure you see the first part of the video before watching this. So as we have discussed last time, BestSpace is like a code passport to everywhere. It's basically a universal language, and with our motto write once deploy everywhere, similar to jQuery, React Native, and also uh, a bit of experience and embossed by Java. So this time let's get started now by heading over to the part 2 session of the space. Okay, so let's get started with best space. So you might have seen the previous part of this video, and we did the basic stuff like creating a space. But now uh, I have come up with the new version of best space, so there'll be a few changes. So as always, this is the main open source here, and you can find it in the GitHub repository, which I'll give a link in the description. Yeah, so let's get started. First of all, let's close this, and let's go to BestSpace tab and create a new folder called dist. Okay, so before creating any JavaScript file, let's head up, let's hop onto our terminal, let's create a new one. And yeah, now first of all, let's cd into BestSpace dev, cd into dist. Okay, let's clear up this. Okay, now uh, if you want to like get started with a node project, we usually run the command npm init. So before that, we'll be starting to use the BestSpace CLI. So to use the BestSpace CLI, you can just use BestSpace. When you click run, it says welcome to the BestSpace CLI. So if you want to quit it, you can use Control C, both on Windows and Mac. So let's get started by creating a new space. So so the command here is called BestSpace init, and before that, it's always better to check the version. So you can see that the name is BestSpace. It comes under the category Best Developer. The version is 1, which we are going to use today, and we're using JavaScript. So let's click this, and okay, let's get started by initializing our project. So BestSpace init. Okay, so enter the space name. Um, Okay, so today we are going to make a complete new space and making a good application for the web and for the desktop. So it's going to be a pretty simple application. We'll be importing different types of plugins. We'll be creating different plugins and all using the power of JavaScript and Node.js. Okay, so to give a space name, let's call this YouTube demo best space. Just call it demo space. Okay, so which language would you like to use? We are going to use JavaScript, and probably in the next or next video, I'll be using Python. So, would you like to enable intelligence? So, intelligence means best arrival here, which helps us in our best space coding. So, let's say yes because it will be helpful. You can see we are building the space, and you can see there's a bestspace.config.json popped up, and it shows project build. So, if you have no errors, that means you're good to go. And you can see the thank you message. So, it's great. Now, we can head over to bestspace.config.json. So, it looks a bit like this. So, you can use the format document. So when you do that, you'll see that you get the name YouTube demo space version as 1 because it's the first version. So when we're modifying, we can change the version later on. So it's going to be a full stack space. Full stack meaning we're going to have the front end, the database, the authentication, the back end part. So we're using JavaScript. So intelligence is 2, and we haven't given any context here, and there's no plugins. So it's pretty similar to, you can see the package.json that we have in Node.js. So later on, when we are going to use intelligence, I'll tell you what exactly is context. Okay, so before moving on to next thing, I would like to show a few more things about the BestSpace CLI. So as we have initialized and we also have given intelligence as true, we can use the intelligence part. So you can just type in the command BestSpace ask intelligence. So we can enter a prompt. So let's say hello. how to check the version of BestSpace using the CLI. So you can see with the help of Arrivo, it shows to check the version of BestSpace. You can use this command, which works. Like we tried this before. So intelligence is needed if you want to make, if you are like a beginner to BestSpace, and I highly recommend it because we are using Best Arrivo here. Okay, now let's get started actually into the project. So before making, so if you're using Node.js and JavaScript, let's initialize our project using npm. So if you're on Mac, you can Mac or Linux, you can type in this command sudo npm init, or if you are on Windows, you can just type npm init. So I'm on Mac, so let me so sudo npm init. So it asks for the password. Okay, so you can see the package name. We'll call it this for now, version 1. So you don't have to like give anything great here. Everything is okay. You can see that we got the package.json and the main file is index.js. Now I want you to tap into package.json, go here and change a few things. So first of all, inside script, we are going to put replace the start with replace with start, and instead of here the error part. Okay, so I have an error here because I can't. I have to retry a sudo. Okay, so if you're facing the same issue as me, just delete it and just init it again. This probably would work, and it works. Yeah, we have no error. So yeah, and here replace this error command with electron dot. So yeah, that would do everything. You can close package.json and install the necessary packages. So you can type sudo npm install or I, both are same, electron. We just need electron. So I already have electron, so it installed a bit quick. If you don't, it takes some time. And if you see an error, try using sudo. And if you're on Windows and you see an error, try to upgrade to the latest version of npm or reinstall Node.js. So this would probably work. Okay, so we got all the setup files. Now let's get started. Okay, first of all, you can head over to my GitHub account here, and you can see that we have something called BestSpace plugin math, and you also have the BestSpace YouTube version that we had last time. So you can head over to the BestSpace plugin math thing. So this is a plugin used for BestSpace. So you can head over to math.js. You see that there's nothing like great, it's just a few functions having some difference and all those stuff. So the thing that I wanted to show here is that how to make a new plugin. And today we are going to make plugins and make a complete desktop application and a website using BestSpace. Okay, so let's get started. So you can see that this is source code. So you can copy this from GitHub or from my repository. Uh, yeah, that's the first step. And second, let's get started. First of all, let's make index.js. Yeah, so index.js, we're not going to do much. First of all, let's start by creating a new app. So we are going to import a few stuff. So if you're using common.js, you have to use const this from, equal to require because you're using common.js again. Okay, so dollar slash will give here, we can give index. I will also give a link in the description about the npm package also. So we're going to import a few stuff, space, code, and app. So space and code, I'm not sure whether we're going to use it, but let's get started as of now. So first of all, let's create a sample application because today we are going to make a new plugin for authentication and all kind of stuff. So let's get started first of all. So we are going to use app. So if, make sure you have VS Code installed because it's going to help us a lot. So BestSpace creates a new desktop app, and that's what we are going to do now. So as it's a function, we can call it like this, and we need to give a config. Now it gives a few things that we need here, so you can head over to index.js from BestSpace dev, and you can see that we need a few things such as the title, the width, and the height. So let's get started by giving the title. So let's call this as um, YouTube demo space. You can give any title you want. And the width and the height now. So the width, let's give it 500, and height maybe 600. So this is the main part here, and we can also give a callback function. It's totally not necessary because by default we'll be having a function that returns null. So I'm not going to have a callback function because it's not necessary. But here we are missing one last thing, the HTML file. So HTML, here we can just copy it from here, HTML file path. Okay, so first of all, we don't have a HTML file, so we got to create this. So let's create a new thing called public. Here let's create something called index.html, and we're also going to use React this time. So let's call it BestSpace React. So let's just make a h1 hello world. That's for now. Let's also create a style.css. We're not going to use it now, but we sure are going to use it later. So let's also link that. So link colon css. Make sure that you have emit abbreviation, which is default in VS Code, because it's going to help us a lot. Yeah, so now we are going to give it here. So make sure that the path is from the space from the exact location where index.js is located. By index.js I mean the main source code. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just use dir name and do it, but I prefer this method. So dot slash dist slash public slash index.html. So yeah, we are done. Now let's just get started now. So just click npm start, and congratulations, we have created a application, a little desktop application which can run in all kinds of operating systems, from Windows to Mac to Linux, and even to best Mac OS also. So you can see that it shows the hello world as the h1, and you can see the title as BestSpace React, and you can see that we're using a bit of Electron here with JavaScript also. So it's great. Now the next amazing part. So if you're on Windows, you just click on the close button, you will quit, but on Mac, you have to force quit it. So now, make sure that you have something called LiShare. It's a beautiful extension. So you can come here and click on open with live server. You can see that we got the same page here, in the both in the desktop application and in the website. So you can see that how much we have reduced just one HTML file. We have made it as a desktop application and as a website, and we're gonna do so more fun stuff here. So we are officially done with making this simple part here. The next thing I wanted to tell is about import plugin. So where you can actually import different type of plugins. So this is a bit complex because we're using something called promises. So you can look here. We need to give a plugin and an enable third party or third party. So we're not going to use any third party. So we're just going to make a plugin. So the plugin name is math. So let's make something like this and a function, or you can use ES6 also. Okay, so uh, yeah, I can call this as code. Let's call this as code. So let's evaluate the code, and let's just check anything. Let's just run. Okay, let's just for now comment this up and run this node dot slash index. We can see that we have got something called BestSpace plugins installed automatically. There's something called math.js, and if you had seen closely before, it's the same thing that we had in our GitHub repository. Exactly, we are using that right now. So after evaluating the code, let's just take the sum of 1 and 2. I'm not sure whether, let's just log this here. You can see that we got the sum as 3, but having declared something called sum, like where did that come from? It came from the plugin. You can see here we got something called sum. We can also and we are also exporting this. So let's also see what is the plugin that we are using. Let's see here, plugin. You can see that we got this as the name as math prod. Okay, let's just table this so it will be a bit better. We got name as math. It's a product of BestSpace. It also is version 1 and language of JavaScript. So we see that this is somewhat close to the BestSpace config.json. Reason being, you need the BestSpace config.json to make a plugin, which we are going to do in uh, upcoming. So this is a bit useful, not exactly right now, but in the future. Okay, so that means we are done with the basics of creating a desktop application and a website with BestSpace. So let me see you in the next part of this session. Now let's get started by importing React. So for importing React, we might have to install something like npm install React, but we're not going to do that because here we are using HTML, and this is going to be support in the next version of BestSpace. So we'll be using the CDN link. So you can head over to legacy.reactjs.org docs cdn links.html. I'll be giving a link in the description about this. So you can copy this code here, which is the CDN, and head back to VS Code. So let's first of all open index.html. You can keep it at the bottom of the body tag, but I prefer to do it in the head by giving an extra thing called differ. So this will load uh, the JavaScript file after the HTML file is loaded. So now you can see that we're using the React development version. And one more thing I wanted to show. So let's npm start. When I go back to here, you can also enable developer tools. So you can see here by just using Command Option I in Mac and Control Shift I on Windows. So let's maximize this. We can see that we can do all kinds of stuff with this. So you can see that we are also using React here. We can also install React DevTools. I'm not quite sure about how to install that in our application because we're not going to use any Chrome extensions as such. So yeah, let's close this and let's minimize our React project. So first of all, let's close this. Good. Let's get started with the actual part. So first of all, we are going to make something called an authentication, where a user basically an user authentication. Okay, so before that, we'll be kind of doing something with the UI. So let's make a new folder here called src, stands for source, and let's create a new file here called script.js. So this is not a node.js file. This is a normal vanilla JavaScript file that's going to be executed in the V8 engine by Google. So let's get started by creating this new file. It's cool. We can call it script.js. Main.js is totally up to you, but make sure that while giving the header by linking it to the your HTML file, make sure that it's correct. Yeah. Okay, so we have created this. So first of all, let's hop on to style. Okay, we have to like first of all make the starting point. So let's instead of hello world, we'll say okay. Let it be hello world. That's good. And in this tutorial, we are also going to be using Tailwind and Flowbyte. Go to flowbyte.com. and let's get started by importing that too. Okay, so if we are going to use the documentation, let me put this to the left side of the screen and like this. So we are going to quick start here. I'll give a link in the description. Okay, so we're going to include via the CDN. So let's copy the CSS. It's always the best practice to put the script at last, even in the header. So yeah, let's do the same thing here. Let's load React first and then the flow byte. Okay, so we are good with flow byte and tailwind. Tailwind is automatically imported when we import flow byte. So first of all, let's get started by checking the font must have been changed. Let's say npm start. You can see that the font is changed and it's not a H1. So the reason for this is because we are using Tailwind and they have removed all kinds of normal what do you say normal styles that is automatically given. So as I already linked styler CSS, let's check. Yes. Okay. So first of all, we're going to make H1. So on H1, the font weight should be bold and then the font size be 32, I guess, 32 pixel. Let's run this now. Npm start. Okay, so we see that there's no change. Okay, I wonder why has this been. Okay, let's run this again. Let's see the dev tools. For styles, okay, I don't think so that the styler CSS loaded, is it? Okay, let's go to application, top, CSS. Okay, styler CSS is loading. Do you have any error? No. Okay, I wonder why. Okay, let's try to open with live server. Okay, the same is happening here. So let's see what's the problem. Is everything fine? Okay, I think let's give this a class. Let's call it heading. Okay, so it's not loading. Okay, so there's no problem with the CSS here. The problem, I think. Okay, the problem is like it's not getting loaded. I think it's because of flow byte. Let's just comment this out. You can see that it is actually loading. Let's change the color and check to red. Okay, so there's a problem with our CSS styles also. Okay, now it's working. So let's try uncommenting this out. Yes, it works. The heading, the H1 was the problem. Okay, so now it's good. So it's not going to be a bit of a complex application, I would say. It's just a normal it's just going to be a normal authentication. So yeah, let's tuck into body, background. um okay, this, we'll take this and let's change the color. Okay, so instead of changing the color, let's use this instead. So we'll make a big div. Let's take this out and put this in. Let's let the class be, yeah, it's good now. And let's with CSS. Yes, so let's center this. Text align center. Yeah, now let's change the margin. Margin top maybe 50 pixel, 100 pixel. 200 would good. No, 500. Okay, that's too much. 300. Yeah, a bit good. So now let's make another div and we'll call this as container. And here, let's first of all change the background color. Background, for now let's put it as white, and let's put high for now. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so as we have given the entire thing as text white here, we're not getting it. So we can put here text um gray 900, which is essentially black. You can see that it's here. Okay, so what are we gonna do with in this part is we're just gonna make the sign up functionality. So let's make another hedge one. Let's call it sign up. Okay, we got it. Let's also change, we'll call it sign up heading. Okay. Let's copy a few styles from here. Let's bold it. Let's align it center, and we have to also change the font size. Okay, it's not going to be as big as that. Let's make it 16, 18. Okay, 20 would be good, I believe. Yeah. Okay, let's make it a bit bigger. 24. Let's make it 27. Yeah, 27 is good. Now let's so this is the sign up. So let's make an paragraph here. Sign up. Um, just say welcome to the main page. Sign up here to go to your dashboard. So let's class is equal to text gray 600. Okay, let's text bold it. Okay, I think it's font bold. I'm sorry. And yeah, that's font bold. Okay, this is pretty good. Let's also align it. Okay, so I think we'll just remove the sign up here part. Okay, this looks pretty cool. So let's first of all to the container. Okay, we haven't done anything to the container, I believe. So container, we are going to wait, yeah, we are going to border radius. We're going to change the border radius. So let me 50 pixel. Okay, that's too much. Let's make it 40. Let's make it 30. That's too much. 20. 10 would be fine, I believe. Yes, 10. Okay, let's make it a bit more. 18. Uh, 15. Yeah, 15 is good. Welcome to the main page. So let's first of all head over to Flowbyte, and we're going to copy some themes here. The input field. We use the floating label, which having a floating label which looks a bit of like the material UI. Is I believe it's good. So let's take the floating standard part. This. Okay. Let's change the color a bit, and let's also change the size first. Okay, let's first of all close this on the terminal. Let's try to run it right now from the desktop application. Okay, so first of all, the flaw here is that this should be a bit above, and this input is not looking good. So let's change that too. So let's change the margin later. So let's just focus on the input for now. Um, I believe that we can style. We can give a pre-built style here. So margin left. Can give 10 pixel. Okay, I think a more would be good. 15 pixel. Yes, this looks good. Let's also do the same thing for margin right. Nice. So we can first of all instead of floating standard, we can put it as okay with okay here. Instead of floating standard, we're gonna put it as email email address. And here we're going to change the type to email. So here we're going to enter our email, and next part is going to be almost the same thing with password. And also we got to give the name, username, or we just put as name for now. Name. This is text. Margin top, it's gonna be 15 pixel too. Yes, that looks neat. Name and here password. Okay, I don't know why is it giving all this stuff. Okay, so this looks good. We also need a margin bottom for the last one. Let's do give it 15 pixel. Okay, I know why it's not going. Okay, now everything looks good. Let's create a button. Sign up. Okay, so we can just copy the styles from here too. Okay, go to buttons. Okay, it's taking some time to load. Yeah, so we can take the default button for now, and we'll be modifying it. Okay, so as our like main theme here, I would say it's a bit of the teal color. So let's modify it to our need. So let's just check about the colors whether we having flow by colors. Okay, so the color that we need is this green 400. So green 400. Yes, that looks good. Let's try 300 too. 300 to, yeah, 400. I think that's the perfect here. Let's make this to 600. So when we hover this, okay, we don't see any change. Oh, green 600. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Uh, can put a center tag. Yes, so this is exactly what we need, and this looks marvelous. Now let's try to adjust the margin. We'll just remove this entire thing. We'll make the whole thing a center. Okay, so it has nothing to do with by changing the margin. So we just centered it. Or we can just give the proper margin. That's good. So we had 300 before, let's put it 200 this time. Okay, I feel that this is good. So let's get started by seeing our desktop application. Okay, so let's okay, first of all, 200 is also too much, so let's make it 100. We can stop this and also npm start. Okay, 100 is like, this is just so good. So we are essentially done with the UI part of our project. So the next part would be like for authentication. So yeah, that's the final part. So I'll see you there. all, we made an amazing looking UI for our project. It's extremely nice, and this time we're actually going to make this work by making a proper authentication also. So let's first of all let's quit this and let me make this side by side. Okay, so for starting, we'll just get started with yeah. Let's start with making a server. We'll call it const express. So we're gonna use express today. It's equal to require express. Let's hop onto a terminal. Sudo npm install or just npm I express. Enter my password and yeah. Now let's get started with the actual application. So let's call it const app is equal to express app.get slash, we'll make it as a function with the rec and res app.listen port number 3000, and here we're going to say res.send for now hello world. So let's get started by running this application. Oh, okay, yeah. So let's just do the same thing in another file because this is gonna be our app file. So let's okay this into this. We'll just call this as server.js. We'll copy this. Let's copy this. And we also got to use express here. Const express is equal to require express. And I'm sorry we got delete this file because server is another username. So let's call this as app.js. Sounds good. So I think let this be for electron. Let's make a new terminal. Let's call a cd dist. Oh yeah, it's a cd BestSpace and cd into dist. Let's clear this. Let's okay before running we'll also um, just say that console.log server running at port 3000. Now let's say app.js. So it's running at port, and you can see we got hello world. Okay, now let's get started for the authentication process. So let this be as it is. Let's hop on and create a new folder into this. Let's call it as auth, and here let's call it users.json. So we're not going to use something like Firebase here. Instead, we're just going to make a simple kind of JWT Node.js auth token kind of thing. So when app.get, when we are going to say sign up here, function rec and res. So first of all, var email. So the email is going to be uh, rec.body, the body, or we can just use the query string. So rec.query.email. Copy the same thing for password. So rec.query.password and var email. I mean name is going to be rec.query.name. Okay. So first of all, we're going to import ff. So first of all, we're going to read this. Okay, not here. Here we have to read our fs thing. Fs dot read file dot slash what is auth slash users dot json, and with this we're going to make a function with error and data as parameters, a semicolon. Okay, so if error, throw error, and if it's no error, then we're going to get the data. So we say parse data, and I'm going to make a new variable is equal to json dot parse, and then I'm going to put the data inside. So we are actually not going to do much. We're just going to rec.json, and here we just going to put the parse data. We'll remove this hello world. Let's hop onto a terminal, clear everything. So if you open, okay, not 3001, 3000. Oh, sorry. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. Oh, it's rest or JSON. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got nothing here because yeah, there's literally nothing. First, let's copy this. So here, now we're going to make a new thing called var user object. We are going to use ES6 here. First of all, we're going to dot parse data. Then we are going to make something called email, and here we're going to put password as the password, name as the name. So here I'm not going to use any type of hash. You can use it, but I'm trying to make the project as simple as possible. Of course, this is not going to be secure, but yeah, for now. So fs dot write file to dot slash auth slash users dot json, and what are we going to write? So json dot stringify, we're going to string this to a user object, and finally a function having an error if error. So again, if error, throw error. That's it. And if this success, we'll just say rest dot send success. Okay, let's just try creating a new user. It's gonna be extremely simple. Yeah. Let's try this doing it later. So let's first of all hop. Let's control C, clear everything. Node app.js. So I hope this is perfect. Yeah, I think it's fine. There's no error. Let's go to script.js. So let's copy this, and yeah, first of all we're gonna get the username and all those kind of stuff. So const email is equal to document dot query selector, and that's going to be okay. We didn't give any classes. Class equal to email. Here class, I'm gonna make it as password, and here okay, so this name, and here is password. Okay, so I think we are good to go now. So dot email, password, and the name. I keep on forgetting the order. Okay. So now, when this button, so let's call this button. Oh, so we already have this class. Oh, okay. So make sure you don't do the same error. We'll call this as sign up btn. Btn stands for button, and const, we'll call it as button equal to document dot query selector, dot this thing. So button dot add event listener, a function. Okay, before that we need to put click. When you click on this thing, we are gonna do something. That is for now. Let's just console.log. First of all, let's get the email. Equal it var user email equal to email dot value. Just value. Same thing a few more times. Instead of email here, password. Oh, instead of email here again, name. So here password, name. Okay, so now we have to go. Okay, we're just going to log this items, user email, user password, and user name for now. Okay, so let's hop onto a terminal. Go here. Let's run. Let's get started. Let's put an email. Um, and let's put a password for now. Let the password be 123. So when I hit sign up, and when we go to the developer tools console. Okay, so the reason why it's not happening is because I don't think so. We have linked it, did we? No. Script src dot slash okay dot slash script. Is it called script? Wait, so where did we save this? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, something inside src. Okay. Src slash. We gotta defer this to. Okay, this is not deferred. And Control C, npm start. You can give your email, your name, and let's put the password as 123. When I click on sign up, it should show me. You can see we got the all the items. So let's go to VS Code. Let's Control C. Yeah, success. So we have console logged in. Now it's time to fetch. So http colon slash slash local host 3000. So I'm going to use a string literal here slash sign up, and here email equal to user email, and password. Actually, we're not supposed to give it like this. We're supposed to give it in the body, but as I already told, I'm trying to make this application as simple as possible. So yeah, it's not recommended and it's not the best practice here. And like for example, a hacker could just hack into like and put a JavaScript injection here, so it's not recommended for sure. Okay, so I got tired of writing functions, so I'm just going to use the ES6 thing here, and we'll just say console.log say data, just log the data and catch. Unfortunately, if you have any error, which I hope we don't, let's console.error the error. Okay, so I'm not sure whether this would work because haven't tried it right now. I hit sign up, please work. Let's check it. Oh, nice, we got a response. And okay, so we got a response, so that means I hope that we created something. Let's go check it. Let's go, we have finally authenticated this, so that's a great success right now. So that means We are extremely good with this. So yeah, so now let's move on to the last part of this. We have to make we go to public and call this as we'll, what's the name? We'll just say success.html. So I'm going to copy most of the things here, basically almost everything. We just say welcome, or we just welcome, fine. Or we just say BestSpace React. Okay, so we copied everything, and we are going to use the same thing here. Now copy this. This. Just gonna format a document. Okay, so that's not good. Let it be like this. As same. And here, instead of hello world, just be like that. We're not gonna put anything here. It's just this heading. And what we're gonna do with the heading? Let's see now. We're just gonna put a script. Document dot query selector dot heading dot inner html. Okay, let's just make a new file instead of doing like this. Say dot slash src slash success.js success var heading equal to document dot query selector dot heading yeah and heading dot inner html. So here we're gonna do one more thing. We are going to set local storage dot set item, and here we're gonna set the username. Okay, sorry. We're gonna say it as username is username, and we just gonna say local storage dot get item user underscore name, and it's not any that it's here, and we are going to use the signature and say hello. So I believe that this should work. Yeah, one more thing. After getting here, we have to redirect. So location dot replace. Sorry, replace. And here we can. So here is where the problem arises. Because I'm not sure about what exactly the name is. So we'll try. We'll just try. Okay, I think something was wrong here. Success.html. Okay. So we just got to rename this to success.js. Okay, I'm not sure exactly where, so we'll just put dot slash success.html. I hope this gonna work. Okay, so I think that's it, right? Let's see. Okay, my email address again, my name again, and the same password. Sign up. Okay, so we came here. Okay, no read properties of null. Okay, heading dot inner html is not a function. Oh, what have it? Oh, right. It's not a function. Okay, so that part is for sure working. And where is success.html? So first of all, we're going to remove the script. We're not going to use this, and we ain't going to use. Okay, we'll just keep the React files here. We'll head over to success. Inner HTML is not a function. Okay, this would work, I suppose. Okay, let's try it out. My email address, my name, and my password. I click on sign up, and let's go. So we got something called hello my name, and you can see that there's no error, and we have successfully completed we can also completed a proper authentication application. You can see in the local storage also. So in the production part, we have to disable the dev tools because in Microsoft Teams, which is using Electron, has not done it, which might have some security issues. So it's great. So we have completed um, making BestSpace with React. So we can also. So I'll be putting all of this code in GitHub. Um, yeah, so you can like fork all of them, and for this authentication part I will be also uploading this as what do you say, a plugin for BestSpace. So if you feel that the app.js is bit lengthy and you see that it's not like, if you're not comfortable with, you can for sure import it as a plugin, like last time I showed you how to import map plugin. So yeah, that can be done. So before ending this, we'll just check everything should work. So we got the same page here. So we can see that I, with very less lines of code, I made a website, and I also made a desktop application. This desktop application can be tested in Windows, so or on Mac or on Linux. So like that's great. I just used a few lines of code. You can see how much code I have used to just make a desktop application. You can see just exactly one line of importing and one line of this code. And I mean, I made this as a config here, like so that will take a line, but it's not exactly. So basically, just two lines. And if you're if you don't want to import it, if you're doing here, just one line, and you're trying. We have made a desktop application and a website. And about HTML, of course, yeah, we have to make it, but with just one line, we made a desktop application. So this is the power of BestSpace, and I'll be using the I'll be releasing the UI part in Best Developer. So yeah, if you really liked my product BestSpace, and if you like this video, if you really like this video, I'll be glad. Yeah, and please like and subscribe to my channel. Um, and leave your comments in the comment section. If you have any errors, you can leave it in the comment section. I will resolve it as soon as possible. So yeah, so the next part of this will probably adding the sign in feature, or we'll be using the Python feature. I'll let you know about that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.